We're running famous movie titles through Google Translate 100 times, and then turning the results into movie posters. I'm joined by my friend Micah, and we're competing to see who can make the most cursed poster. Our first movie is Good Fortune. Let's translate that 100 times.
He's back.
Alright, that sounds like a zombie movie, but since Keanu is playing an angel in the original, why not flip it and make him a demon instead? First, I'm making the background red and cutting out Keanu. And obviously the angel wings have to go, so I'm replacing them with these 3D demon wings and adding some shading.
Okay, so the new title is He's Back, but I mean, who's back? Well, you'll find out eventually, so let's remove everything except for Keanu Reeves. I'll darken up the bottom of his body and then add some black behind him as well.
I think Keanu could definitely use some horns, and since the light is coming from above, I'm adjusting the lighting to match. The wings also look better with a bit of transparency, so let's erase some of it. And of course, every demon needs a tail. We'll make it black, add the snake skin texture, and finally contact shadows and highlights so it actually feels real.
Let's bring in a black and white alleyway before adding a knife to his hand and giving it some shadows. I'll do the same, but with a gun for the hand on the right. And let's desaturate his body and remove that from his hands and face so it's only on his clothes. I'm also gonna make the outside jacket a little bit darker and then finish up his outfit by making his tie red.
This outfit isn't very fitting for a demon, so I'm painting his coat black. And you know we need some red in there, so where better than the tie? I'm adding a gradient at the bottom so we can finally place the title. And just for fun, I'm drawing a tail on the last letter.
I'll blur out the background before going around the outside of his jacket with some highlights. Let's give the background a texture for, well, some more texture. And then I'll go around his body with a bunch of blood to make it look like he's more beaten up and, well, you know, bloody. Let's put the title on the bottom and add some text below it, which kind of explains the blood. So let's finish it up by adding Keanu's name at the bottom and adding a camera raw filter. And that's it.
Our second poster is Roofman. But this time we're translating it 999 times.
This is your device.
What?
I'll start by adding the Apple Store in the background and giving this dude some legs. I'll use the Select Subject tool to select and cut out his body. After putting him onto the poster, I'll go over his shirt with a hue and saturation layer to change the color to blue because that's what the Apple employees wear. Obviously, I'll need to fix that up around the hands and pants and everything else, but I'm also going to add the Apple logo onto his chest.
First we need Channing Tatum, so I'm cutting him out from this shot. And he's gonna need a body too, so let's grab one real quick. The neck transition looks awful, so I'm cloning the hell out of it. Now I'm giving him another arm holding a phone, so the title actually makes sense. And of course we need to match the t-shirt's color.
Now, the title of this movie is This Is Your Device, so let's take this screenshot from the Find My iPhone app and put it on his phone. Let's cut off this employee's head and add Channing Tatum instead. I'll blend the two people's necks together to make it look like one continuous neck. What am I even saying?
I want him to look like an employee that chases you down to give you back your phone, so I'm cutting out a supermarket shelf to put in the foreground. Now I'll add an aisle in the background, but we need to extend it too. And shelves don't usually go all the way to the ceiling, so that part has to go. And yes, I'm extending everything by hand because I don't like to use generative fill when I don't have to.
I'll add some highlights to the right to match the lighting on his face, and then fix up the background and mess with the color grading. And then let's match that coloring onto Channing Tatum.
I'm blurring out the foreground and making sure the background is even blurrier than it already was, so that Channing stands out. But I don't like that he's looking away, so I'm erasing his eyes, which looks incredibly cursed. Oh, and by the way, if you don't subscribe, Jeff is gonna keep your phone. Let's put the iris back, and this time it's staring at us.
Nice job, team.
We can also add some eye bags and make the whole scene feel like night. And since this is already creepy, I'm painting in a bunch more shadows.
I tried a few different titles, but for now we'll just keep this, and since we have so many Apple products in the poster, I'm gonna guess that Apple TV would probably have been the studio to fund this movie. So let's bring in the Apple TV logo, which actually gives me an idea for the title, so I'll give the title the same style and look as the Apple logo before changing the font on device. Let's finish up the image by adding some highlights onto the edge of his shirt and give it a more cinematic look with the Camera Raw filter. That's it from me, folks.
I found this old Toys R Us name tag from the 90s, and it's perfect. I'll change the name to Jeff, like the character in the movie, and stick it on his chest. If we want this to look dramatic, we're gonna need to light up the phone screen. And while we're at it, I found this flare. It would look even better in blue. Now we can finally write the title. I'll add some blur and grain for texture, and finish it off with the actors' names at the bottom. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, go check out Micah's channel, and if you want to see more cursed poster, you can watch me take movie titles way too literally in that one.